Statistics. Level 5 Ruby Queen makes your Ruby Towers hit anything. This in my opinion should give global hidden detection because it's not very useful right now. Level 8 Unlock Ruby's price. Basically just damage buff for all Ruby Towers. This is the most important part about Ruby Queen. Level 11 Ruby's Pride is now 1.5 times the damage. Level 15 is 2 times, 2.5 with Mastery perk. How to use. First, you don't need to care too much about her own damage because it's kinda fall off after wave 19. You mainly use her for her damage buff towards Ruby Tower, so it's relatively dumb to use her without any Ruby Towers. She doesn't have any ability, so you don't need to time ability or do fancy stuffs like sell and rebuy. Since she is a guardian, you just have to get some early defense, save up for her then place and let her level up on her own. Very simple. Synergies. She gives damage buff to Ruby Towers, so it's kinda obvious that you should bring at least one Ruby Tower to make the use out of her. The 2 towers I most recommend pairing with Ruby Queen are Gunner and Fire Mage, because you can perform the very complicated facey and overpowered form of Gunner that I will talk about in another video. She is not a damage dealer, so she doesn't need other towers to buff her. Also, Alien's buff doesn't work on her because according to the lore, she is immune to poison and weird chemical. Purpose. She is very good for bosses because she can buff DPS Ruby Towers like Gunner, Bomber, Sergeant. She is nice for some Master Mode strategy involving Ruby Towers, but in most experts she is kinda useless because she can't defend really well and the damage buff comes not early enough. Placement. Ruby Queen's placement doesn't matter because again, you don't use Ruby Queen for her damage. You can even place her on spot in which she can't attack because her damage buff towards Ruby Towers is global. Conclusion. Ruby Queen is a good support guardian for Ruby Towers and very easy to use.